saja, Remastop juga dapat menjadi sumber vitamin bagi tubuh agar persendian dan tulang tetap sehat dan terjaga.
Apa sih antiinflamasi itu? Jadi antiinflamasi merupakan respon protektif dalam tubuh terhadap rangsangan. Nah, pentingnya antiinflamasi dalam tubuh, dia berfungsi untuk mengurangi rasa nyeri, kemerahan, dan bengkak pada area tubuh yang terinfeksi. Nah, kandungan flavonoid dalam tubuh sendiri, dia berfungsi sebagai antiinflamasi yang baik. Bagaimana mekanisme dan cara kerja obat di dalam tubuh? Jadi, obat akan masuk dan diekspresikan atau dipecah di dalam ginjal. Setelah terekskresi di dalam ginjal, akan larut ke pembuluh darah. Ketika obat sudah mulai menyebar melalui pembuluh darah, nah saat itu juga tubuh akan merespon melalui reseptor agonis, sehingga akan menekan keluhan. Ketika kadar asam urat dalam tubuh sudah meningkat, memang jarang bisa disembuhkan. Akan tetapi bisa ditekan menggunakan obat-obatan tertentu. Apalagi obat-obatan yang mengandung antiinflamasi seperti contohnya flavonoid.
Satu box Remastop terdapat 45 kapsul, yang setiap kapsulnya mengandung 5 ekstraksi terbaik yang sudah melewati uji klinis dan mendapatkan sertifikasi dari Badan POM dan Halal MUI, sehingga aman untuk dikonsumsi dan menjadi salah satu rekomendasi produk terbaik untuk penderita pegal linu, nyeri sendi akibat asam urat, ataupun rematik. Cukup meminum Remastop 3 kali sehari sesudah makan, maka kesehatan persendian dan tulang Anda akan terjaga.
Jangan lupa menjaga kesehatan Anda dengan tetap mengkonsumsi obat yang sudah terdaftar BPOM dan Halal MUI agar Anda dapat merasakan khasiatnya yang aman dan tidak menimbulkan efek samping apapun yang dapat memperburuk kondisi Anda. Sayangi diri Anda dan keluarga Anda dengan memeriksakan keluhan yang Anda rasakan saat ini, atau Anda dapat berkonsultasi dengan praktisi profesional dari kami yang terpercaya dengan menghubungi kontak di bawah ini.
Jtv Pacitan, Gonewong Jawa Timur, 100% menghibur rakyat makmur. Jtv Pacitan, Gonewong Jawa Timur, Jtv Pacitan Jawa Timur.
good morning and welcome to See Today's Network's morning show. This is the C Morning Show. It is Friday, the 20th of November, 2024. So if you're right here in Indonesia or in the southern or the Asian part of the world, well, happy Thanksgiving to you. Yes, not the West yet, but right here for us. As always, for the next 3 hours, we will bring you the latest dose of your morning update. And we have top stories right here from Indonesia and across the globe. And of course, today we have two very pivotal talk shows, one of which, well, since I said it is Thanksgiving, the next day after Thanksgiving is the Black Friday. So everyone, hold on tight to your pockets and your change. It's going to be a lovely 2024. And also, we will have another talk show that is very pivotal to our political spectrum right here in Indonesia. My name is Caroline Suramat. I am never alone in this desk. We have Alin, Elsa, Hans right here on this lovely Friday. Good morning.
I'm deleting my credit card details in any kind of platform because of Black Friday.
Isn't it?
So, because it's quite dangerous though.
But you know that on Black Friday, especially if you want to buy like new gadgets, it's more on the digital technology
actually
side
correct.
of it, right?
But I don't know if I need any more gadget or I just want it. By the way, good morning. My name is Hans Lema, your host for today as well. And in addition to just what Carol just said, we will also have a special talk with Dino Patijala, the chairman of FPCI. We will discuss the Indonesian policy or foreign policy under the administration of Prabowo Subianto later in the program. So make sure you stay tuned for that, and also can connect with us on our social media at CTD News on Instagram, X, and YouTube.
Yes, looking forward to the two talk shows that we're going to have today, because we don't want our financial to be blacked out right after Black Friday, right?
Well, coming from a financial planner.
That's right.
So you want to be able to exercise self-control.
Oh, I don't know
to
if
avoid
I have
impulsive
Well, it is discounts, by the way. It is Black Friday.
Okay, especially if you have like targeted items, especially technology, as you mentioned, Kay. So this is the moment. I'm Alin Ratmaja. Would like to greet our viewers that are now able to tune in from Foxtel Splash Australia, Macau Cable TV Channel 84, Vision Philippines Channel 58, Air Cable Philippines and Singtel Singapore Channel 15, and StarHub Channel 720. All right, let's start the show with our headlines.
First up, residents of heavily bombarded Lebanese city in Nabateh started returning home on Thursday following a ceasefire between Hezbollah and Israel.
Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto announced the increase of teachers' welfare during the National Teachers' Day celebration at the Jakarta Velodrome.
The Quezon City Police District recently filed a criminal complaint against Sara Duterte and her security staff after she allegedly threatened President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.
And a new milestone once again for Indonesia and the Netherlands, taking a monumental step towards cultural reconciliation as Rotterdam returns 68 historical artifacts back to Indonesia. And we have those and the latest update, and we'll begin with the first of our story right here in our program as residents of heavily bombarded Lebanese city Nabateh started returning home on Thursday following a ceasefire between Hezbollah and Israel.
Thousands of Lebanese residents who were displaced by the Israel and Hezbollah conflict started making their way home after both sides signed a ceasefire agreement. Should the deal endure, it would end nearly 14 months of fighting between Israel and Hezbollah, which escalated into all-out war in mid-September.
The truce offers rest for 1.2 million displaced Lebanese and tens of thousands of Israelis who fled their homes along the border.
The situation along the Israeli-Lebanese border remained tense but quiet 2 days after both sides signed a ceasefire agreement.
An Associated Press reporter near the Israel-Lebanon border said that Israeli drones remained active while sounds of artillery strikes were heard from the Lebanese side.
Now, the 2-month ceasefire agreement calls for Hezbollah to withdraw north of the Litani River, while Israel are set to return to their side of the border. Meanwhile, Lebanese troops and UN peacekeepers are set to patrol a buffer zone between the two sides And the ceasefire took place on a late Tuesday and put a stop on 14 months of conflict between Israel and Hezbollah. And I know that you guys remember too, this week is very an important week as U.S. and the United States and also France had finally made a ceasefire deal between Israel and also the Lebanese government, not Hezbollah, but the Lebanese government. Now, so as they said, and on the ceasefire, that both countries are prepared to take steps to promote conditions for a permanent and comprehensive solution. This was stated by the U.S. President Joe Biden. It also stated in this ceasefire deal that the Lebanese government will prevent Hezbollah and all armed groups in the territory of Lebanon from carrying out any operation against Israel. And Israel, meanwhile, will not carry any offensive military operation against Lebanese targets, citizens, civilians, and other state targets in the territory of Lebanon. Now, the basis of the deal, it notes full implementation without violation. This in regards to the UN Secretary Council Resolution 1701, which ended the last war back in 2006. The resolution required among those other things. But again, Hezbollah is not mentioned in this, so this is a part of a ceasefire deal between Israel and also the Lebanese government. Again, a total of 10,000 Lebanese army troops will eventually be deployed to the south according to the agreement. And the ceasefire agreement says Israel forces will move south of the blue line in a phased manner within 60 days. So again, we were just mentioning about, after post-ceasefire deal 2 days, there's still not as much action going on the ground, but as from the Israel camp says, it will take them about 60 days until they'll have this, permanent situation. The ceasefire agreement says that U.S. will chair the reformulated and enhanced mechanism, will monitor, verify, and assist in ensuring enforcement, and Israel and also Lebanon will be expected to report any further details back to the U.S. and also again to France. But Prime Minister Netanyahu said if there will be any more action and movement from Hezbollah, they will retaliate.
So I would like to highlight how costly is this conflict. So at least 3,768 people have been killed in Lebanon and 15,000 more wounded since October 2023. And from the Hezbollah side, it is said that at least 500 people were killed. And in how costly it is, like the damage because of this, we would like to say that it cost 2.8 billion US dollars with more than 99,000 housings were ruined or damaged.
Yeah, not including the victims.
It's hard to calculate.
Priceless.
Yes, priceless. And now we move on to one of our headlines today. Former Philippine Vice President Sara Duterte recently defended herself amid claims that she was scheming to assassinate President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.
She became embroiled in controversy ahead of the Philippine general election that is scheduled for May of next year.
Former Vice President Sara Duterte denied claims that she was plotting to kill the Philippine head of state. This came after she made comments on the weekend which instructed an associate to kill President Marcos Jr. and his family if she were killed. She emphasized that she made the statement under much anger and shock, aside from adding that the instruction was only conditional upon her death.
The Philippine Justice Department has summoned Duterte for an inquiry and called her the self-confessed mastermind of a plot against the president. Meanwhile, President Marcos Jr. said that her statement were troubling and promised to take action. The former vice president has criticized and accused the Marcos administration of persecuting political opponents and failing to serve the Philippine Republic.
So we spoke in the afternoon show with two experts, one analyst and one other is a researcher, or one from the University of Philippines and also the other, Lucio Blanco Pitlo III, saying that why was the statement being uttered by Sara Duterte? Because first of all, why this particular relationship just fall into pieces?
Yes.
Because at the first time, probably it stemmed from the disappointment of Sara Duterte because she was actually asking to be vice president, and the Secretary of Defense. Instead, Marcos Jr., Bongbong Marcos, gave Secretary of Education to Sara Duterte, in which, in this particular thing, Sara being accused of embezzlement of the fund for the Ministry of Education. And during this investigation, she actually mentioned about this particular thing in the Senate. And it's actually appeared to be, it's thought to be a distraction from the particular investigation. So she released that statement. And in that sense as well, this shows fragility of Philippines' political power access.
Yes.
And when being asked about what would be the future for Philippines political at the moment, they still don't know yet because it's still unraveling like layers by layer. And also what they were saying as well, this is actually also the chronicle of two families.
Exactly.
Dynasty,
That's right. That's right.
Duterte and also Marcos. And in this case as well, when being asked about what about the assassination, why did she release that statement, she walked back from that statement, saying that if only I were to be killed, then I would have some associates to execute the plan and stuff like that.
I love how you change that terms or that to associates. That is correct, though. I mean, we saw that it seems that she, the comments were made because she retaliated, and we know that as we just reported that the Philippines election will commence next year, and Sara Duterte is one of the stronghold contestants to be the president.
Yeah, not to mention Sara Duterte's father, Rodrigo Duterte, the former president of the Philippines, is now being under investigation upon the human rights violation during his term, right?
Yes.
So, it's some kind of walking on shattered glass.
Yes. Well, anyways, later on in the program, please do stay tuned right here on the C Morning Show for today, specifically in this episode, because we will have Jonathan De Santos. He is the chair of National Union Journalists of the Philippines that will elaborate more of the situation that is happening.
Yes, the latest development from this issue. And now, additionally, previously, Philippine Vice President Sara Duterte explained the alleged plot to quote-unquote get impeached.
The statement was made following her public threat to have President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. assassinated if she were killed.
Now, during the briefing, Duterte downplayed the criminal complaints, allegations, and potential lawsuits against her.
Yes, Sarah, further framed government actions as part of a coordinated effort to remove her from office, freeze her assets, and impose travel restrictions. On the same day, Quezon City Police filed criminal complaints against Duterte and her security team for allegedly assaulting authorities and defying orders during a recent altercation in Congress.
The police complaints are separate from legal actions that may stem from Duterte's shocking public assassination threat to President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos, and House Speaker Martin Romualdez. While Duterte claimed the alleged plot against her life justified her remarks, she has not disclosed any specific details about the supposed threat.
Kaya pinipilit nila na merong violation sa batas. Mag-cancel ng passport, mag-red notice, mag-amlak, mag-issue ng kaliwat kanang search warrant. So ibig sabihin, babalik pa rin tayo dun that this is clearly oppression and harassment for remarks that pinipilit nila to take it out of its logical context.